Okay. Welcome everyone who's joining now. We're just going to give you guys a few minutes to log in and get yourselves comfortable. For everyone joining, feel free to say hi in the chat. Love to know who's with us today. So we'll give it a couple more minutes. Hi Ria, good to have you. Okay, I think we can probably get started. We have quite a few of you with us on the stream. So welcome. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday afternoon. So the purpose of today's webinar is really to give you guys a bit of an insight into what we've been working on at Urban HQ over the past few months. We haven't had one of these sessions in a while, so thought it'd be good to give you guys a bit of an update on what the team's working on, and also let you guys know a few ways you can kind of future-proof your business, especially it's the beginning of the year. It's very normal to be kind of looking at setting resolutions or intentions for the rest of the year and kind of working on your kind of life, whether it be work or your personal life. So we thought it would be good to kind of go over ways in which you can improve your business, train up and kind of keep doing well in 2021. It's quite an uncertain few months that we have lying ahead, but there's a few things that you can do, whether you're kind of staying at home a bit more during lockdown or still working but have some free time that you can upskill and kind of use your time wisely and grow your business on Urban. And those are kind of the main points that we'll be touching on this webinar. Just a couple of housekeeping things. If you guys have any questions throughout the session, feel free to add them into the chat on the side, and at the end we'll kind of go through those and answer any questions you may have. And one final thing, we want to keep the conversation on topic and on the theme, so we can really give you guys the best information possible. So if we can keep it as on topic as possible, that would be amazing. And I will start sharing the slides with you guys. Okay, here we go. Wonderful. So, future-proofing your business in 2021. So the agenda of our webinar today is going to be to kind of go through what things you can do to future-proof your business, particularly looking at what treatments we are currently offering during the lockdown, essential services, and what you can do if you're not currently offering any of those services to still be able to work, or to look at making sure that you're able to work for as long as possible in the next few months as things are a bit still kind of uncertain. We'll then go over how Urban can help you upskill. So we've got an initiative in place that Camilla will go into, but some of you will have received an email about this. It's really exciting, and it's something that we are hoping we'll be able to continue in the future. So we'll give you guys a bit of an intro into that and let you know how you can get involved. And then we'll move on to talking about what we've been working on as a team at HQ and some cool, exciting projects that you guys can get involved in. So we'll kind of go over those two as well towards the end. Cool.
So I will give us a quick intro to, first of all, what future-proofing means. So yeah, in a nutshell, future-proofing is just making sure that in the future, whatever you're doing, despite the uncertain times, you're able to provide or assure some kind of security around whether it's your service offering or your earnings. And so what we want to do, obviously, is support you with that. So at the moment, as you're all probably aware, we have our essential deep tissue and sports massage services open, as well as our sort of new injury pain management treatment and physiotherapy and osteopathy have been ongoing for a while as well. Last Friday, we reopened reflexology and pregnancy massage. So we obviously want to make sure that you're able to offer as many treatments as you are able to, but we want to make sure that we're staying well within the government guidelines, and we want to make sure that any treatments that we do decide to offer right now are able to operate legally, and are able to we're able to support that reasoning with legislation or with proof that these are health related treatments, as kind of supported within the scientific literature. So moving on to the next slide. So we're aware that obviously this isn't our full suite of services that we usually have open. It is obviously some of our sort of most popular treatments. So, aware that many of you are still able to work, but we are also aware that there's a portion of our community who are unable to provide services at the moment, and for that reason might not be able to actually earn very much or work at all right now. So we were thinking about this. We wanted to know what we could do to obviously support you into getting back into work sort of sooner than the end of lockdown, and also to kind of ensure that when you do continue working post lockdown, you're also able to earn better consistently throughout your time with us and also off the platform. So yeah, after kind of discussion, we decided that we wanted to sort of help you guys upskill, help you guys sort of continue your professional development in order to offer specifically deep tissue massage with us. So deep tissue is our sort of our most popular treatment. So you're more likely to earn pretty much twice as much if you're offering deep tissue as if you were only offering Urban Classic. We can also offer deep tissue right now. You can offer deep tissue like throughout lockdowns, and you'll be able to get more bookings after lockdowns as well. So it's a good thing to have on your profile. And for that reason, we are not only sharing trainings with you, but we also want to basically help you pay for that training to make it more accessible for you as well. So what we've launched is a incentive program, which means that if you sort of complete one of our deep tissue training courses within the next month, before the end of February, and then you come on to join our deep tissue treatment. So you let us know you want to offer it, send us your certificate, complete our assessment, then we'll basically refund you 50% of the course fee. Obviously, a lot of schools aren't open at the moment, so we have partnered up with CityLit, who are able to deliver their deep tissue CPD totally online. So they hold it over Google Classroom, and it's a 2-day course over the weekend. And we've negotiated an unbeatable price only for urban therapists, and it's an urban only training. So we've got reserved spaces, a great price, and then we'll refund you 50% of that price as well. So you could basically become a deep tissue therapist for £60. That's the kind of final cost to you. And then you could basically make that back in just over a booking. So our first sort of training session is this weekend. And thank you for those who've signed up already, because it's completely full. And we are planning, we're already in conversation with CityLit to have another course in the next couple of weeks. So if you didn't manage to get onto the course this weekend, just keep an eye on your inbox. We will be sending more information about the next course. And it's something that we want to be able to continue if it works well. So So yeah, if we find that this is something that's really beneficial to you, then we can potentially see if we can extend this past just 2 sessions as well. So we want to make sure, obviously, that this is something that is fair. We know that there's obviously a restricted number of slots that we can fill, but we also want to make sure that this is an opportunity that's extended to people who aren't able to work right now. So for that reason, basically this offer is open to anyone who is offering massage services with us, but aren't able to work right now because you can't offer deep tissue or you can't offer sports massage. If you've received the email from us over the last week, that's because you are eligible for this. So yeah, basically the way that you do it is in that email, we've given you all the details of the course. You can sign up with them directly. And then once you come to us and send us your certificate and start the assessment process, then we'll basically add the money onto your statement. But we want this to be for people who are unable to work, but also want to get back to work soon. And for that reason, we're asking that it's people who are going to add this treatment before the end of February. And we also want to make sure that this is going to be people who are comfortable getting back to work and sort of know how to use the platform. And for that reason, we're also adding a kind of criteria that you have to have completed at least 15 bookings with us before we're able to extend this to you. So yeah, it is full for this weekend, but we will be continuing this on for the next couple of weeks. So that's kind of if you haven't, so you're not able to work because you haven't done this training yet. I'm sure there are some of you who have maybe already completed a level 3 sports diploma in the past, or you've already completed a deep tissue CPD in the past, but you just don't currently offer any of these treatments with us. In that case, it's really convenient to complete our online assessment to add new treatments to your profile. All you need to do is basically let us know what treatments you want to add, show us your certificates, and we'll send you the sort of online assessment that you need to do. You don't need to send us any videos or anything for deep tissue or sports massage. You basically just complete a online test, and then once you've done that, we can basically add the treatment onto your profile if you pass. The same goes for pregnancy and reflexology. All of our treatments are now able to be assessed totally online. So if you already have a reflexology certificate, you already have a pregnancy certificate, and you're not currently offering these treatments, but you want to and you want to be able to start earning again, then it's the same process. Just let us know and we can send you the relevant assessment materials by email.
Awesome. So if you guys have any questions on that scheme or anything else based on the kind of essential services, feel free to add them into the chat and we'll address them at the end. But now we're going to move on to the second part of the webinar. So we're going to give you guys a bit of an insight into what we're working on behind closed doors at Urban HQ, and kind of go over a couple of things that you should have already heard about in your emails, but just give you guys a bit more of a kind of detailed look at the projects we're working on and how you guys can get involved. Great. So one of the really exciting things that we've worked on over the past few months has been a new cancellation feature in the Hero app. So you should have received an email about this, and there have been like various pop-ups and stuff within your app. However, the way this new feature works is you'll be able to cancel a booking directly through the Hero app. So we want to make the process as simple as possible for both the practitioner and for the client as well. So this new feature is essentially a cancellation button that you'll see when you go into your booking details. So now when you receive and confirm a booking, you'll have the option to request that cancellation directly through the app rather than having to go onto live chat with customer support and kind of go through the conversation of letting them know which booking you're wanting to cancel and the reason behind that cancellation too. So basically, depending on how far away the booking is, time-wise, there'll be two different things that you'll see on your screen. So if the booking is over 2 hours away, you will be able to submit a cancellation form, which will ask you a few questions about the reason why you're cancelling, and to give a bit of context as well as to why that's happening. And then if it's in under 2 hours, you'll be directed into a live chat. So if your booking is in over 2 hours, you'll have a sort of short list of options, and then you'll be required to give us a brief kind of summary as to why you're requesting for that cancellation. And then once you submit that cancellation, our customer support team will then review it against our cancellation policy. And depending on whether it's within that cancellation policy or not, your cancellation status will be updated within that booking. So basically, we want to kind of go over what the benefits are of using this feature versus chatting with CS. As a lot of you guys are quite used to, if you have a cancellation, you go directly to CS. So it's a more simplified process. You'll be able to do this directly within the booking details. That will then be shared with customer support, and they'll be able to review the cancellations based on how time sensitive they are. So if a cancellation is for a booking that has been placed for a week away, they might not get to that immediately, but they will be able to get through the kind of more urgent requests closer to the time. So that makes for a better experience for the client. So if you do need to cancel in the unlikely situation where something does pop up, the client will receive an email notifying them of this cancellation and also offering them a small discount to book their next treatment, whether it be with you if you have availability in, or with another practitioner. And then you'll also receive a notification and know that your booking has been cancelled. So yeah, as I said, in-app requests will be reviewed more quickly. So saves time for you guys, for us on the customer support team, and also for the client. So they'll be able to rebook as soon as they receive that cancellation. And you can also track the status. So you'll be able to see whether it has been approved or not. And then that will make life easier for you guys as well in the long run. So that feature has been out for about 2 weeks now, and we've had some people using it, but we really want to encourage you guys to use a new feature. It was designed for a reason. It's designed to make your lives easier and our customers' lives easier as well. And the more you use it, the more we'll understand how we can constantly improve the app, and yeah, just make it a really, really frictionless process as much as possible. Amazing. So now we'll go into a couple of projects that we're working on currently, and that's a couple of things that we'd love for you guys to get involved in.
Yeah, so the cancellation feature is obviously something that we've recently been able to get out to you, but there are a couple of things that they're still in the pipeline, and it's going to take a few months for us to get to the point of being able to share the final product with all of you. But we want to get you involved from the early stages. The reason being that we want to make sure that these features are something that's actually really useful for you and something that you actually really want. So one of the projects is probably something that you've already heard from us a couple times about, and that's the Mika project. So that's the sort of our baby AI, which is able to provide you suggestions to make sure, or to help you anyway, earn more and make sure that you're working at the times and the places that are going to put you in a position where you're more likely to get booked. And Yasmin will touch upon this in more detail in a second, but we're also working on another feature that will basically allow you to have more flexible availability, where you're able to potentially accept or confirm bookings within those times. We're already in the process of making these features for you, but I guess what we want to know is how many people are actually going to use this. If we release this, is it something that can actually be used by people? Because our practitioners do have more time that they can commit to the platform, but maybe they just want to have a bit more flexibility there. If it's the case that isn't, everybody's got a job between 9 and 5, and there's no way that they can work between 9 and 5, you probably don't want to get anything that, whether it's suggestions or the ability to have more flexible time to work then, if it's not relevant to you. So we basically put together a short survey, which will help us understand a bit more about how you work. So, the times of day that you can definitely work, the times of day that you can sometimes maybe work, or you would be happy to take requests during that time. And then also just to understand, what kinds of other things do you have going on outside of working with Urban? So this information, we just want to be able to understand from all of you, so that we can make sure that we kind of feed that into how we're developing these projects, so that the sort of final output of these projects are actually things that will, be used by you, be wanted by you, and will also kind of benefit everybody in the long term. So what we're going to do is basically share this survey with you in the newsletter tomorrow. So we're just hoping and like asking that as many people can answer this. It'll only take you, 4 or 5 minutes to answer, maybe less. But that sort of 4 or 5 minutes will feed into, hopefully something that you will be using for, months, years, in about, in a few months from now. Cool.
Great. So touching on a couple more things that we have going on at the moment. So a lot of you guys will know that we've been under lockdown for quite some time now, and while we're very grateful and have worked hard to be able to keep these essential services running, there are still a substantial number of people who work on Urban, and as well people in the kind of wider industry, who aren't able to work at the moment. So we've been, throughout this whole pandemic, so start from last year, I've been working really closely with some lobbying groups and with the government as well to really push for financial support for our industry and for self-employed individuals as well. So we're looking to gather some information from you guys to understand whether you're currently able to work, whether you have access to any of the government financial support that's in place. So that's the self-employed scheme, or whether you're currently on some other form of financial benefits through the government, because the more we understand what position you guys are in, the more we can ask for, essentially. And this is going to be really key in determining what self-employed individuals are able to have access to in the next few months, or any kind of subsequent lockdowns that happen in this year. So we'll be sending out a survey later on today. So please take a couple minutes, fill it in, add as much detail as possible, because every single submission will really help us understand what situation you guys are in, and what we can really ask for and advocate for. So look out for that later on today, and please fill it in with as much detail, and do so before next Wednesday, because the sooner we're able to kind of turn that over to the parliamentary group, the sooner we can kind of push for some answers, and kind of understand what financial support you'll be able to have access to and be eligible for in the kind of upcoming months. So that's really key. The next thing is touching on what Camilla mentioned. You should have all received an email from us about the kind of new product feature that we're working on. It's in the very, very early stages, but we understand that the current availability model that we have on Urban is something that you guys have had some comments on, and have given us some really useful suggestions. And we know that it's quite a rigid system, and a lot of you have asked for more flexibility around when you work, and that's really, we understand that's really key for the community, and it's kind of a big interest of yours and of ours, of course. So we're looking at having a system in place which allows you to add something called flexi availability. So rather than having a booking being automatically confirmed when you add availability, you'd have the decision to choose whether you want to work or not. And this would not be subject to the cancellation policy. So it'll be a certain kind of availability that you can add that would be separate to your regular availability. And within that time, you can basically accept or reject a booking. So again, very early stages, and we won't be able to make this happen without you guys, and without your feedback, and without your support through testing, through brainstorming, through giving suggestions. So if you haven't already filled in that form, please go back into your emails and have a look. And some of you have also agreed to take part of our kind of focus group. So our product manager will be in touch, if he hasn't already, to set up a call with you, a brief call to kind of understand a bit more of what you want to see in this feature, and what your thoughts are about our current availability model. And the kind of last thing is basically based on webinars that we organize. So as you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen, we've been trying to host as many kind of virtual events for you guys, and to try and just stay in contact with you guys, and share information, share tips, bring on some speakers to kind of ensure that we're not losing touch with you, not losing touch with us, and we're not losing touch with you as the community throughout this lockdown. And we really want to understand what you guys want to see, rather than just us kind of coming up with ideas of events we can host for you guys. The more we understand what you want to see, the kind of more exciting it will be for us to actually be able to host these webinars. So we'll be sending out again another survey. Well, the keyword of today is survey, in the newsletter to kind of gather your suggestions. So yeah, I'd love to hear as much as I can, hear as many suggestions from you guys of what you'd like to see. And based on the success of them so far, I think this will be something that we continue to do in the future, even if we hopefully get out of this lockdown soon, as it means that people can kind of tune in when they want, watch live or catch up later. And we've had some like feedback from some of you guys who've been able to tell some of us who work at Urban that you love rewatching our webinars, or like catching up with us and seeing what we're up to. So yeah, please fill those out. And I know we've kind of thrown a lot of information at you guys and asking for you guys to fill out a lot of surveys, but we really want to make sure that everything we do is what you want to see. We want to work in collaboration with the community, and also make things as accessible and as useful as possible for you guys. And without your feedback and without your suggestions, we're just basically sitting here and thinking of what we think you'd want to see. So the more you are able to fill these forms out that we send, and the more you're able to give us your feedback, the better we can make the app, the whole experience for you guys on Urban. So we do really appreciate when you guys do fill in these forms and these surveys, and we look at every single response, and we then take that on board and share that with the various teams at Urban, and get the ball rolling and get some exciting projects on the way. Cool. So let's have a look at the question. If we had any questions from you guys.
We had one on our assessment process and sort of the requirements for joining. So Ria asked if you already need to have a sports massage qualification to do the online assessment to join with us, or to add it onto your profile. So yeah, just to reiterate, you will need to have the certificate before you do the assessment with us. So whether that's deep tissue, sports, pregnancy reflexology, you'll need to have a certificate. We know that not everyone has a deep tissue certificate, for example, and it might be kind of difficult to access training to get one right now. So for that reason, we have arranged for a deep tissue course with CityLit, the first of which is happening this weekend, which is full. But we are in conversations of hosting another one in a couple of weeks' time. So there's going to be opportunities for you to be able to access training. It's hosted by CityLit because they're the education, like our education partner. But we're going to help fund that training for you. So that's for people who don't have certificates. If you do have a certificate already, then you can go ahead and start the assessment process with us. And if you do go down the path of taking CityLit's course, once you've finished the course, you'll get your certificate. So we'll just send you a follow-up email with the online form that you need to fill out, so that you can start the assessment process with us as well. So hopefully that helps with that question.
Awesome.
And I think there's another question, maybe Yasmin, if you want to take this one on the cancellation feature. Yeah. So Ria also asked if we cancel, so if a practitioner cancels using the cancellation feature, will the hours that were behind that booking automatically be removed from the diary, or will we still need to go back and take that out manually?
From my understanding, they won't be automatically removed. But I'll need to follow up on that one. But I'm pretty sure that you'll need to manually remove the hours, and it's just a way of cancelling that booking. But let me get back to you on that one.
Yeah, I think with that one, it's always just good practice, probably, regardless of if you're cancelling a booking through CS or if you've cancelled through the feature, just always check your diary just to make sure that, you know, that it is the way that it should look. Just because you always want to double check and make sure that you don't accidentally, if there's a bug or, you know, or if you remove the hours, you want to just make sure that that actually has saved and you're not accidentally going to get something else come through. Cool. And Meditation Station says, I'll do the survey. So thank you so much. Please do all our surveys. Yeah, as Yasmin said, like I know that we're sending out a lot of stuff right now, but we're trying to get you guys as involved as possible so that first of all, we can make sure that we're doing things that you actually want us to be doing, but also so that we stay in touch with all of you because, you know, with lockdowns and not being able to be around people, we know that like distance can kind of grow as well. So cool. Any more questions? It's been a bit quieter today. I know that we had a few things to cover. So feel free to post more questions if you have any, and we can answer them if you do.
Meditation Station asking, what about starting an urban in-house massage school?
So it's a great idea, but the reality of it is it's quite that's quite resource intensive for us. Also, from a quality perspective, if we had a massage school, we'd have to be, we'd want to be accredited and sort of by governing bodies and regulating bodies. So that's one thing. We'd have to have a school to do it in. So we need to have a space where we can actually do this, and we need to have teachers who are also able to provide the service. So it's quite a lot of stuff that we would have to do. And our expertise is not being a school. Our expertise is, building apps and, helping you. We're a booking platform. That's what that's what we're really good at. And there's a lot of really high quality schools already out there who already have this set up. So for that reason, we basically partnered with them so that they can give you their high quality teaching, and then we can basically help them by giving their graduates working opportunities. So it's kind of a win-win for us, and also an additional win for you if you get involved. But yeah, it's just an easier way for us to be able to offer a really high quality training faster as well.
Amazing. Giada is asking how can she find out about the next deep tissue training?
So the next deep tissue training, we'll be sending an email out next week, and in the email we'll basically give you information about when the next training is and how to book on. The booking, like the signing up process, is going to be pretty similar. You basically contact CityLit, you let them know that you want to join the training, and we've got kind of an urban personal code that you can give them so that they know that you're an urban therapist and can access these urban only dates and the urban only price. You'd basically book directly with CityLit, and you'd pay the course fee first, and then once you've finished the course and come to us and completed that online form, then we'll add the £60 onto your statement. So yeah, kind of long story short, you'll get an email from us.
Dragos is asking for around the cancellation feature, whether having a pop-up saying your cancellation request has been accepted, please check your diary to make sure availability is up to date, would be a possibility. Like with most of our features, they are kind of, we create them and then kind of work on improving them as time goes on. And this is kind of like the first version of this, and it's part of a bigger project as well. So there might be some changes in the future to how that feature works. And obviously in an ideal world, we'd want to share as much information with you. Having a pop-up would be great because it means that you're instantly aware and know to check your diary. But as Camilla said, getting into those good practices of just always checking your diary and making sure that it's up to date is really, really key until we do have that kind of more developed version of the feature, or more developed version of the Hero app.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of being able to kind of iterate on versions of the features that we're giving you or releasing for you even, kind of looping back to what Yasmin said earlier, we really need people to start using the feature, because if people don't use the feature, then we can't, figure out, where is it that people are getting stuck? Why, where is it that we can make improvements, or the suggestions and the feedback that you're able to give us, for example, you wouldn't be able to give us if you hadn't used the feature as well. So, yeah, like what we've given you is sort of the first version, but as Yasmin said, there'll be a version 2, version 3, version 4, and in order for those versions to get closer and closer to what you really want and what would work, as seamlessly as possible for you, we need as many people to get involved as possible as well.
Yeah, so true. And we have a small tech team, and with the kind of resources we have, the decision to work on a feature or iterate on it is really based on how much use you guys are making of it. And so the more you use something, the more we know that it's important, and the more we're able to kind of understand how we can make it better for you guys. So keep using it, and then keep sharing your feedback as well with us if you have anything to share. We have a couple more questions. One's from Blanard. If we have a qualification in deep tissue, is that possible and then do the assessment? I also wonder if it's the same for sports massage, and to what level?
Okay, so if I understand this correctly, so if you currently hold a deep tissue certification, then yes, you can still do the online assessment with us. But the incentive that we have in place is to help pay for any training that happens now, as opposed to help pay for people who've already done a training to add the treatment. Same with sports massage. So if you already hold a sports massage certification, you could literally today let us know you want to add this treatment, and you basically just send us a scan or a picture of your certification. If it's the right qualification level, then we'll send you the online test and you can complete that, and then we basically just review it, and if you're successful, we can add the treatment onto your profile. In terms of what level qualification you need, for deep tissue, we basically ask that you have like a deep tissue CPD course on top of at least a level 3 holistic massage, body massage, anatomy and physiology unit. Diploma. And then for sports massage, you'll need to have a level 3 or higher sports massage certification to offer our sports massage treatment or essential sports massage treatment. And we also have a new, relatively new, it came out about 6 weeks ago or so, treatment called injury and pain management. So for this treatment, you either need to be a registered physiotherapist or osteopath, or a level 4 or 5 or higher sports therapist. So that's a slightly different treatment with a slightly more intensive assessment. So you'll need to send us a video as well as complete an online test for that one. So that one is level 4 or higher for sports. Just regular essential sports is level 3 sports or higher. And for deep tissue, it's a deep tissue CPD course that we'll need from you. And we have one from Dragos about road charges. So more and more areas of London now have road charges. Most therapists are driving. And do you plan anything at the moment to help towards costs, like charging additional fees? Otherwise, this might impact availability. It's a good question. So I think what you might be referring to here is the ultra low emission zone, which is coming into place soon. So we haven't currently done anything in terms of adjusting fees. It's also quite difficult to do anything around adjusting fees at the moment because we keep going in and out of lockdowns, and the market. It's very difficult to make any long-term decisions about marketplaces right now, just because obviously every day there's a change in the world that we're living in. So to give you quite a simple answer, right now we haven't put anything in place. But we are obviously keeping an eye out on any changes that are happening to the kind of cost of working. And whenever we find that this is, making a significant impact on our practitioners' ability to work, or also if it's impacting, clients' ability to book treatments, then in that situation we're able to sort of review our fee structures. But right now, I know that we're looking into things, like looking into potential changes, but we haven't put anything in place right now, just because obviously, again, just a lot of uncertainty in the world. So it's not the best time to make kind of final decisions on things.
Sarah's asking, would you ever add more advanced treatments like semi-permanent makeup? Again, similar to what you said, it's really hard again for beauty, especially as beauty's currently closed and has been for a substantial chunk of the past kind of year or so. It's hard to make any kind of decisions on bringing on a new treatment. And before we do that, there's a lot of market research that goes into it, and understanding what the kind of marketplace looks like, what competitors are doing, and as well understanding how feasible it is to have that new treatment on our app, whether our clients will want to book that treatment. So yeah, there's quite a lot of kind of background work that happens before we introduce a new treatment.
And Blanard is asking, is this an online qualification? So I think if you're wondering about the deep tissue course that we've arranged with CityLit, so this is an online course technically, so it's held over video call, but it's basically the same workshop that you would do with CityLit if you had gone into their center, but they've set it up so that you're able to do it over a video call instead of going into their center, because obviously at the moment you're not supposed to be going anywhere. So yeah, it is a course that you complete online, but it is a CPD certification that would be a similar level to if you had completed it in person with them. And in terms of the kind of the level of teaching and the sort of course content, nothing has changed there. You'll still need to have a model so that you're able to do the practical, and a bed set up so that you're able to kind of still get involved. So they're trying to keep it as close to doing it in their center as possible. But yeah, we've checked their syllabus before sort of putting this course together as well. We've made sure that it covers everything that you need to know basically in order to pass our online assessment as well. So we are confident that if you do this course with them, you should be able to pass our online assessment as well.
Great.
Cool. I think my chat's frozen. Oh,
Yeah.
are online qualifications okay? So generally we don't accept if it's like a purely online qualification without sort of practical practice or practical assessment. The kind of the CPD courses that we accept need to have like a minimum number of teaching hours, and we want to make sure that you cover all the units that we need you to know. If you've got a qualification and you're unsure about it, you can always sort of fill out our assessment form and upload your certificate there. And our kind of quality team can have a look at that certificate and compare it against what we accept and what we don't accept. So if you're not sure, you can send it in to us and we can have a look at your specific qualification to let you know if it kind of fulfills our requirements or not. And that goes for like any course if you've got a kind of equivalent, but generally we need you to have like a nationally recognized qualification. So it needs to be recognized by a body, like for example, ITEC or NBQ. And there's a website called NARIC, who it's an organization who can basically have a look at your certificates and give you an equivalence or a translation, depending on if it needs a language translation or a level translation. So you're welcome to use them as well to check if your qualifications are kind of nationally recognized as well.
Great. I think that's all the questions so far. We'll just give you guys a couple of minutes to submit any additional questions you have.
Yep, CPD qualifications. Yeah, so if you have like a deep tissue CPD from the London School of Massage, for example, those kinds of certificates we're very familiar with and can accept.
Great.
Cool.
I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for joining us. And again, we'll constantly be sending you guys emails and trying to keep you guys up to date with what's going on at Urban, and sharing any kind of projects that we want you guys to kind of work on with us, and any forms we need you guys to fill in. So yeah, keep an eye out on your emails, and hopefully we'll be able to keep organizing webinars like this to keep you guys in the loop with what we're working on.
Great. Thank you guys for joining, and please answer our surveys. Our final plea. Cool. Thanks so much, and catch up with you guys soon. Bye.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.